welcome along to the form. We're looking forward to show day out of Christchurch as well. Second day of the harness, a big premier meeting featuring Group 1s and the free-for-all, the Dominion, among others as well. Really good program coming through from Addington. We'll talk to Craig Thompson very shortly. And also, we'll talk Awapuni. Let's see who's coming up on the form. First off, we'll speak with Awapuni trainer Royden Ferguson, who has runners at Awapuni, and also a few runners at Waverley on Sunday. Stephen Marsh out of Cambridge, and we'll talk also a little bit of Awapuni, but also Riccarton and Tauranga over the weekend. As we said, Craig the Whale Thompson gives us his thoughts on Addington today. Okay, we're heading down to the CD for Friday racing and also touch on Sunday's meeting out of Waverley as well. But first of all, Awapuni and local trainer Royden Ferguson joins us. Royden, first of all, how are conditions there at Palmerston North for Friday's meeting?
Yeah, pretty good, Aidan. Track should be bang on perfect. As you said, it's tried a bit of water at the last couple of days. It's been really nice and hot and dry, so about time to bring on the good tracks.
Absolutely. Decent team in as well. You kick off with a couple in the first race, Rain It In and Queen of Spades. Just tell us about this pair.
Queen of Spades would be interesting, really. She's coming off a heavy track win and quite a convincing win. Onto probably a good four. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. Her work suggests that she'll be really tough to beat. A lot of pace on in the race, and that should suit her. Pity she didn't get a better draw, but we've got a good take. So, really happy with her. Work's been really good. Just whether she can cope with the heavy to the good track.
And what about Rain It In? Yeah.
Well, he's got all the talent in the world, but he's just got no brains. He's a big kid. He was terrible the other day. He just jumped out and he tried to race on the outside of the horse that was outside him, and he just got on the wrong leg, done everything wrong he possibly could. But we took him back to the trials, and Lisa was quite happy the way he trialled the other day. So he should get a nice run in behind the leaders on a solid pace. So that might help him get around the bends.
From a trainer's viewpoint, which one are you leaning towards?
I'd have to go Rain It In, otherwise the kids will kill me.
Who's all involved? Is it your kids?
Yeah, Sam and my son Noah and my daughter Georgia. They are in it, and along with a few of their mates. So yeah, it's quite a hard case syndicate actually to get a bit of banter from them all, but no, it's good. Trent Thidham's in it as well. Trent Thidham, Peterson.
Oh, yep. Wow.
And, yeah, a few other roosters around the town.
Okay, let's move you on to the second. You've got Stormcast, who look to be, a promising horse when we saw that debut run. How much does the horse come on with that one, Royden?
Yeah, he's a really nice horse. Shame he got injured as a late 2-year-old. He was out for a spell and he got away in the paddock and ran into a post, and hence that's why it's taken him a long time to get back to the races. He's probably an autumn horse, but we've got to get him going, and we think he'll run really well tomorrow. His trial was really solid, and his first start he came up against Waikari and horse at Pikes that won the Wakefield, so it's pretty strong form. Really happy with his work. Nice horse.
Okay, yeah. How do you play it tactically with it?
Well, that'll be up to Lisa. See how he jumps. We don't want to really rush him forward, so hopefully he can slot in the midfield to me and just get one off the fence to be nice. And as long as he's hitting the line, that's all I'm worried about tomorrow.
Okay, yeah. What can we expect from Kapanos in the third?
Look, I really like him. I think he's taken those two runs to come right. He was really bad on the coat at Hawke's Bay. And since Hawke's Bay's just turned the corner, Michael wrote him the other day and he said he bought him out. He thought he was going to win or be in the money. And he said just the last furlong he picked. So he's right on. Hey, look, he's hard to beat around the short course here. He's got a good record here. I know he's up in class, but he's down a lot in weight, which will suit him. If he can get across to the lead pretty quickly, he'll be hard to hit off. I think he's a really good place chance anyway.
Okay, like that. And on to the fourth, you've got Bradman, a horse who's shown any amount of ability. What about for this one?
Look, he's got a very bad draw. I'm not sure if I'll run him yet. I'll just see what tomorrow brings. But he's been in the Hawke's Bay getting treated by Nicky. He was ready to race about a month ago, and he went down on his bumpers, galloping on the track one morning, and it really hurt him. So we thought we'd take him off that and put him on the treadmill for a few weeks. He he won a jump out at Hastings quite convincingly. I don't know what he's against, but Leah Hemi Royden gave me a good report on him. Nicky said, he's done really well, and well, he's got a lot of talent, but he's a horse that has not had much luck so far. Very well bred. I think if he's going to go through the grades, he'll be pretty quick because he's got a lot of talent.
Okay, and your last runner for the program is Sindicato in the last.
Very nice horse. He's injury prone. Lovely big strong horse. Look, he'll run a heck of a race. He's really fresh, strong horse. Pleased with his work, pleased with his trials. He'll run a good race.
Okay, what's the pick of the team at Awapuni?
Look, I really like Kapanos. I think his work suggests that he'll be right in amongst them, and Stormcasts.
Okay, like that. It'll move you on to Waverley on Sunday. You've got Sweet Janine, whose last two runs have both been really encouraging. What can we expect of her?
I think she's probably the best chance of the weekend. She works since Otaki's been very good. She got up really well yesterday morning. Got a good draw for a change. She's always drawn the outside of first two starts and been slow away. So hopefully if she jumps with them, she'll get a nice run in behind the leaves and she'll be very hard to beat.
Okay, a bit of confidence there.
Yeah, she's breezed through that last race. She looks wonderful in the coat and really bright in the eye and licked the feed bin since the race. So I'm really, really happy with her.
Okay, good. Yeah, and into the last where you've got the two-pronged attack of Tyro and Can You See Her? What about them? It's an interesting race because it doesn't look to be a great deal of depth here.
Well, they're both probably coming to the end of their winter. It'll probably have to rain a lot for them to have a chance, really. Okay. Tyro's been, just a good old battler. He battles through the winter tracks. He gets a bit of luck. He wins one every now and again. But I think if it rained, he'd be a chance. He'd be a good chance. But I don't know if he'd keep up on a good track.
Okay, and Can You See Her? Like we've seen a pretty honest campaign from her.
Yeah, she's been rather disappointing. The track work suggests she should be up a few rating grade bands. Like she can really stretch out on the track, but it's just race days. I don't know what's going on, but maybe she's just a sprinter. We think she's a Z, she's a stayer, but we seem to keep her fresh. She just works the house down. So we dropped it back from the 2200 an hour. It was a big call the other day, go from a mile to 22. Sometimes not many horses win first up over ground, I don't think. So look, she'll run a cheeky race. She's got a good action horse. I don't think she'd mind the firmer track. So she could be spoken.
Okay, and by the sound of it, you're really keen on Sweet Janine as a pick of both the two meetings.
Yeah, Sweet Janine, yeah.
Okay, just an update as well on Wakari from the 2,000 guineas. You just didn't seem to have any luck from the inside draw.
No, well, he just had a terrible trip down there. He had to sit on the wharf for 3.5 hours to wait for the ferry to pull in. It just didn't work out right. He didn't sleep or eat the first night, and he got on his toes on Saturday morning. He came back, he licked the bowl. Look, I'm pretty critical. I don't think it was Danielle's best ride, to be fair. I don't know if you can get up on the fence in a Group 1 race. Like, I hope he took his luck out of the equation, just went to the outside. And, that's racing, so you got to put up with it. He's a good horse. He's gone the paddock. Probably freshen him. Probably be first up in the Wellington Guineas in a couple of months' time.
Okay, how far can he get in the preparation? I know you've been a little bit wary about even getting him to 1,600 metres. Can you extend him in trip, or will 14 and 12 pairs go?
I'll probably he'll have one more crack at a mile, and that'll probably be the Bayer Classic. Yeah. So if he can stay in one piece till then, I'll be happy. Like he's pretty relaxed horse. He doesn't really get on the nickel or anything. So no, really happy with his first campaign as a 3-year-old. Just turned to custard last Saturday, but that's racing. Take it on the chin.
You have to sometimes. I really appreciate you giving us the time, Royden, and best of luck for the weekend, especially this Awapuni meeting.
Yeah, thanks very much, Abe.
Getting you off to Cambridge, where a busy weekend ahead for trainer Stephen Marsh. And Stephen, venues are plenty. We're going to kick off with Awapuni and talk La Bella Beals. I thought pretty good last time out in Clearing Maidens.
Yeah, absolutely. She's just taken a little bit to sort of click onto the job. I thought she would have won before sort of last start, but just getting better and better. Looks a nice race for her, drawn nicely. And yep, it's certainly a step up in quality of field, but I do really rate her chances.
Okay, on to the second. You've got GC resuming.
Yeah, big on this horse. He's a new horse to the stable, having a first start for us. I really rate him. I think he's a horse that's going to go through the grades. And yeah, I thought he was probably our best for the weekend, actually.
Okay, yeah, it's obviously really prepared well for this one too then.
Very much so. His trial, if you watch a trial at Taupo, it was outstanding. And he's just gone on great since there, drawn perfectly. And yeah, as long as he travels down all in one piece, he'll be right on it.
Okay, move you forward to race 7, Illumination, another one who was the last start winner. Has she come on with that?
Come on really well. She'd probably appreciate a little bit more jar out of the track. Hopefully they're putting plenty of water on. Might be hard to beat Old Town Road. I know the jockey and manager have got a big rap on that horse, but yeah, she's going well. She's improved. She's a black type performer at 3, and she's got to be thereabouts. But I think it's not a bad field, especially with Old Town Road in there.
Okay, yeah, you're bringing up Old Town Road. So let's go back to Ocelot. Terrific last time out. When will we see that horse next?
She'll go to Otaki on the 25th for the listed Open 1200. She's going great. She's come through that trip well and looks a pretty high class mare, as you know.
Absolutely. Okay, let's get you through to Saturday, where big teams at both venues as well. Let's kick off with Tauranga in the second there. Obviously, La Bella Beals probably goes to Awapuni. You've got Divine Sabre in that race as well.
Yeah, she'll be scratched with a wide draw. She just can't pull a trick with a barrier, so she'll go to Rotorua and run over 1400, but if she can draw a barrier, she's going to be right on it.
Okay, on to Mega Bourbon in the third. Well, this is a horse who looks as though, the best is still in front, but going really well at the moment.
He really is. Drawn a little bit of a sticky gait, but he's going great. He's improved from that first up run. He has a little bit sort of that nervous energy, got a little bit above himself. So if Taiki can sort of get him nice and relaxed, give him a bit of room in the straight. Again, it looks a nice field, but I think he's a pretty good horse.
Okay, we'll move on quickly from there. Tight Line in the sixth, a horse who seems to be going really nicely this preparation. What about for Saturday?
He's going great. He's drawn nicely. Taiki on again. He's riding most of the team there. He will only run if the rain doesn't come. Looks like there potentially could be a bit of rain, but he needs a good track, and that probably just that little bit of easing the track just tripped him up last start. But when he gets on a good track, he can definitely follow him.
Okay, and on to Vernamy in the feature, a horse who's obviously got those group wins, not only this preparation, last preparation as well. What about for this one?
Yeah, it certainly suits him a lot more back to weight for age, where he doesn't have to carry the top weight in such a big spread. He's got to be a real chance. That's a good field, as you'd expect. But look, he's always thereabouts, and he's going to, from the nice draw, he'll jump, he'll put himself right there. And look, he's going to be thereabouts again for sure.
Okay, where does this race fit for him? Did you progress to a Captain Cook Stakes?
Yeah, look, maybe if he can put his hand up here, I don't see why we certainly wouldn't. He seems to love the mile, and yep, he certainly could venture down for the Captain Cook.
Okay, and we move on to race 8, Chicana, who was really good last time out as well. What about this horse in the last?
Yeah, really like her. I think she's going to be better again next start over 2000. But she's very progressive. Sort of last campaign, she always showed us a lot. But this campaign, she's putting it together, and I certainly wouldn't be surprised if she did go back to back.
Okay, who's the best for Tauranga?
Best for Tauranga, you'd have to say Mega Bourbon with the right run.
Okay, good as gold. Let's move to Riccarton on Saturday, and the last day of Cup Week. You kick off with Fedikian, who was desperately unlucky, should we say, on the first day. How's he come through?
God, I think she's only just found the gap now. She just got out. Yeah, she was an absolute tragedy. Back to 1400 is probably not ideal, but she's drawn perfectly. She's going great. She didn't really have a run the first day, and look, any amount of luck, and you'd certainly like to think she'd be winning. It was a good field the other day, and I haven't seen one that unlucky for a fair while, to be honest. So hopefully she puts her hand up here and gets a bit of luck.
Absolutely. You are in a later race, I think a rating 74 later in the card. Would you go that way if you happen to get a start, or would you still run? Yeah,
she's not on the 74 mile now. She's only in this one race, and then she's on the ballot in another rating 65 1400. It's just the way they did they sort of cut it in the middle. So right. She'd have to run in the later race if there were scratchings, but no, hopefully not.
Okay, good as gold. Let's move you to the fourth, Darcy Palmer, who's been pretty consistent of late as well.
Yeah, wide draw last start, pulled a plate. He has the fastest sectionals of the race, which was good. He's drawn a good barrier here. He'll even come in another one or two with ballots. So he's drawn to get a good run, and yeah, he can certainly turn his form right round.
Okay, will Monza Sukito back up after leading up in the Breeders' Stakes yesterday?
Yeah, she probably will. It's a pretty sort of even sort of a field, and for 50,000, we'll just run bloods on her tomorrow, make sure everything's perfect. But we're certainly very keen to run her.
Okay, yeah, she seems to be in really good form this preparation.
Yeah, absolutely. She's going along really well, and she deserves to win a race like this for sure, and get some beautiful at the weights too.
Okay, obviously it was a really competitive race yesterday. How did you assess her performance?
Yeah, I thought she was a little bit under par. I just thought she'd kick on a little bit better. She did get taken on a fair bit, so it wasn't quite as good as what we expected. But a bit of a back to handicap with that run under her belt, she should be fine.
Yeah, okay. Move on to the ninth, and probably two runners here. It looks like Glorious Ocean and Kelly Rose. How are you rating that pair?
Yeah, Glorious Ocean's been very disappointing. Back to rating 65 grade. She can hopefully turn her form around, and Kelly Rose has drawn the car park. She's going to need a fair bit of luck from there. But she's going good races, and if she was to get luck, she's not without a chance.
Just going to go and have a quick check-up and see whether Fedikian's looking likely, and at this stage, no, isn't it? So we'll just move straight on to the Cup, where you've got Lincoln King, who was second in this race last year. Can you go one better?
Yeah, I think he's going really good. If you watched the replay last week, just didn't get all the room at the end when he was just about to really start winding up. Didn't get a clear run at them. I think he's going better than last year. I love the way he's going, and yeah, I certainly don't think. I think he can. I think he can definitely win. It's a big even field without there being a standout. Obviously, Bodeswell was probably the run of the race on Saturday, but I do think we're a massive chance.
Okay, can you compare his run in the lead up to last year for us?
Yeah, probably similar. I even think if he got the luck in the last 100 metres, I think it would have been a lot better than last year. But I just think all round he's going better this year.
Okay, like that. And on to the last, Bronte Beach, who, man, this has been a mare who has had no luck all preparation. You're just needing the right sort of run, and perhaps that could be tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. Grillsy takes the reins. He's flying at the moment. You're right, though. She's just had very ordinary luck. We thought she was, probably a mare that would have been in a race like the Breeders on Wednesday, going into sort of a couple of months ago. She just nothing's gone her way, but she can definitely turn her form around there.
Okay, who's the pick of the Rickon runners, Stephen?
I'd like to say Lincoln King. I really do think he is, but Fedikian's got to be awfully hard to beat with the right run.
Okay, yeah, obviously you've got a big team and they're really firing at the moment. Who's the one that we should be watching out for in the next 2 or 3 weeks?
What have we got here? Oh, the way Global Currency's going, I think he's the one you can follow this whole preparation. He finally put his hand up last start, and I think he's only got better. And you'd be certainly hoping with your jockey on. I think you've confirmed the ride with McNabb, and you haven't jumped off yet.
We don't jump off for horses of Group 1 potential like that one, Stephen.
Well, that's what we certainly hope he is, but he's a good horse going through the grades. I think he is one you can follow right through.
Yeah, good as gold. I appreciate your time today, and best of luck for Friday, Saturday, both units as well.
Beauty. Thanks, Hayden. Cheers, mate.
Chance to talk harness racing now. We'll grab Craig Thompson. Craig, obviously, it's been a massive week already for the light harness sport. And that New Zealand Cup, what a thriller. A bit of a turn up too with the favourite Rolled. How did you assess the race?
Yeah, good morning to Aidan and the viewers as well. I thought it was a magical day for a magical man. I mean, a guy that's sitting back at Franklin at 73 years of age. Luckily enough, we had a camera there to catch the emotion, Aidan. He'd been trying to win that race for a while, and I think that was his best opportunity. Unfortunately, couldn't have been there, but we saw the emotion afterwards. And, I mean, the All-Stars have had enough wins for the day, Aidan. I think they could give it to Ray. As I said, he looked a bit motley. He hadn't had a haircut for about 3 months as we are in COVID lockdown in Auckland, so looked a bit of a rock star, but he was a rock star on the day, and his best ever horse won a Group 1 New Zealand Cup.
Yeah, so cool for Ray, and like you say, it was fantastic. We were able to get a camera inside his house and capture that moment, and that's hats off to Ray and his family as well, because we are sort of really getting onto their turf on a really special moment, and for them to be able to share it was pretty magical, wasn't it?
Yeah, and a great story behind this horse, Aidan. They paid $7,000 for him at the weaning sales, so it wasn't an all-star package. I've gone to the sales and I bought the highest priced yearling or weanling. Debbie Green's got a great eye for a horse like this one. He's not the easiest horse to work with, but that doesn't matter when you start to win multiple Group 1 races. Yeah, and it's a big team effort. I mean, Lincoln Farms, they put so much money into the game. Of course, Merv and Meg Butterworth bought this horse off Ray after he'd won numerous races, paid good money for him in comparison to what they paid for him. Of course, he's gone on to repay that. So big team effort. Well done to Lincoln Farms, because we haven't had a Auckland Cup winner or a North Island Cup winner in 2008. So be a parochial Aucklander. Very happy that we got one.
Absolutely. I know Mark Purdon ran second, but boy, didn't he just steal the show in the early part of the program? How does he still do it? How does he still, have this amount of talent in those hands, through what he's been through?
Well, it was an amazing day. They had 12 runners. I think 12, maybe 11 or 12 runners. They had 5 training wins. He drove 6. Pinched hit, got a win earlier in the day on a trotter. They target these races a bit like Tiako. That's all I can put into the galloping codes. When you've got Group 1 races and you see the tangerine colours go around, they've been aimed for Group 1 races. I mean, they won the Group 1 with Franco Windy. All their other runners went phenomenally well, including a second in the Cup. I think I'll give a big kudos to Hayden Cullen, because I mean, he took over this training effort 12 months ago when Mark and Natalie walked away. Big shoes to fill, Aidan. They've come back again. Things have continued on. It was relatively smooth transition. I think it's, as I say, it's a partnership that can keep continuing.
Okay, let's talk Friday features now, Craig, and a couple of really, really good races. The Dominion's always a beauty, the best trotters in the country coming together. Sunday Sun dominates this market, though had to settle for defeat last time out and behind Muscle Mountain. How were you assessing the Dominion?
Well, there's 2 things you take into that. Did he go well? The answer was yes. This week, it's a different scenario. The reason I say that is he started off a handicap then, Aidan. He started off a 10-metre handicap. Muscle Mountain was off the front. Now we go to the Dominion handicap. He's off the front. Muscle Mountain's off the second row. So it's like a 20-metre reversal in the handicaps to what happened last time. Now, that makes it very difficult for Muscle Mountain, because you'd think Sunday Sun's going to be a long way in front of him when they settle down. I mean, he is the multiple Group 1 winner in the race. He's won 7 Group 1s. He's won 6 Group 2s, 13 group races. He's won every one of our big trots. He's won the National Trot, the Anzac Cup, the Road Cup, the Dominion. What more do I have to say? And he's had a great lead up. So I couldn't tip against him. I think the price is short enough, but you can understand what the bookmakers have done. They know the money's going to come for him. He's at $1.60, $1.70. Muscle Mountain, great story. Ben Hope, young fella, Aidan, in the junior drivers ranks, only been driving for 5 years. He's going to look across and he's going to see other drivers in this race like Mark Jones, who's not far, Mark Purdon, who's not far away from him, driving one Apollo. Mark started driving in 1986. Ben was only a twinkle in his mother's eye in those days. So it's a great story when you've got a junior driver and you're looking at a guy that's driven 8,000 races, not that far away from you. He's had a Group 1 win aboard this horse. So I suppose if Ray Green was the feel-good story about the Cup, then Ben Hope would be the feel-good story about the Dominion.
Okay, how do the draws affect how this race pans out, Craig?
Well, I think the best roughie in the race, if you don't want to back the $1.70 favourite and you want to find something outside the square, don't leave the stablemate out, Mataderos. This horse was formerly in Australia, came to New Zealand. Robert Dunn's done a wonderful job with him because he hated the grit. He also hated right-handed. They put him on the grass and just continued to win grass track races all over the country. You think, well, grass track form leading into a Dominion handicap? What are you talking about? But he actually won at Banks Peninsula, beating a lot of good trotters by 12 lengths on the grass. Then he goes last week. He beats Sunday Sun home, only beaten by Muscle Mountain, and he's drawn at the right part of the track. We saw at the 3,200-metre starting point in the Cup that when you're out wide, you actually got a bit of an advantage because the camber of the track, you're kind of half a length in front of the inside ones when they let them go. And I wouldn't be surprised if he leads this Cup early, a bit like Classy Brigade did in the Cup, and takes a trail behind Sunday Sun. I think at 270 a place, top 3, outside chance of winning the race. If Blair Orange can go Cup and Dominion in the space of 3 days. Absolute possibility. I thought he's a great place bet.
Okay, before we leave the Dominion, Craig, any love for Majestic Man?
Not probably over the 2 miles. I know he's placed in this race, but he's always been a short distance horse. I think Phil targeted the first day, the Group 1, over the sprint journey. They wanted to lead. They did lead, and they were out-muscled by a couple of nice horses, including Oscar Bonavina. I think if he happened to step away and he could get a nice smother on the fence, a bit like he did last year, absolutely could run in top 4. All of his predominant wins at Group 1 level been over short distances. So be very interested to see how he goes on Friday.
Okay, yeah, and the other feature, the pacing feature, is the free for all, and obviously self-assured now with the chance to bounce back, but comes up against Krug, who was terrific on the first day as well.
And South Coast Arden. This is what I call the dash for cash over 1980 here, because they are going to burn. It's not going to be a drag strip for the first 400 metres. I've never seen so much gate speed here. We've got South Coast Arden, barrier 2, of course, predominantly all season, Aiden. He's been standing starts. We've never seen him from a mobile. What I can tell you is he does have good gate speed. You go back to the 1980, the last time he was here, and he led from exactly the same draw, maybe not against Krug or Self-Assured, but it had Chase Auckland in that race, and he beat him home. Loved his run in the Cup. If you actually look at the sectionals and you look at the splits out of the race, both him and Self-Assured ran their last mile in 1:53 or better. Now, when you're looking at a mile race, well, hell, 1:53 is a great time. Well, that's the end of 2 miles.
Yeah.
Phenomenal effort by these two horses working mid-stages when Copy That and Blair Orange was controlling the tempo. So to answer your question, they both went wonderfully well out of the Cup. Krug's the interesting one because he's gone from the junior free-for-all to the senior free-for-all. And they had to make a decision. They had to put the blinds back on him in the junior free-for-all and waken him up because he'd been a real doofus. He'd been on a standing start and he said, I'm not playing the game, Cran. And Cran said, listen, we're going to put those blinds back on again, put you in a mobile and put you at the top end and see the Derby winner back how he was early on in his career. And that's exactly what they did. Now, whether he can find the front from barrier 4, I'm not convinced. I agree they'll go out and they'll have a look, but there's so much gate speed, dance time, labour. My God, this is a quick front row. I'm really looking forward to, because Natalie's won this race 3 of the last 4 years. She drives South Coast Arden. At this stage, Aiden, I'm tipping him because he's got the good draw. I think back to the mobile. There's no reservations about him doing things right. He's second favourite. I think he may even up with Self-Assured come to close to race time. Going to be a great race.
Okay, yeah. Outside the prediction on the win, and you're giving us South Coast Arden, give us a prediction on time, Craig.
Well, it's interesting. I think Ultimate Machete has the record in this race. If I remember rightly, back to 2017, he went 2:15 in this race. If it's a fine day, because we had some pretty crappy weather in Canterbury in the last couple of days, if it's a fine day and we don't have any wind, that record is under threat, Aiden. They could go 2:15.2, 2:15.4, something like that in this race because there's so much speed here.
Okay, yeah, big program on the big day, show day, of course. We need just one winner, one that we can stand out. Craig, what have you got for us?
Well, No Fixed Odds is recording this for the undercard. Of course, the 3 Group 1s are there, Aiden. But if race 10, number 7, Darling Me, comes back like she did at Ashburton a fortnight ago in the Flying Stakes Day, she set a New Zealand record for mares and went 1:51 in a mile there and had to do it the absolute tough way in sitting parked out. She meets a similar lineup from a front row draw, loved her Cup Day trial, clocked her home in 1:57. She sat and never pulled out. It was just a little bit like Franco Indy. Same trial, same horse in that race. Just a real go-forward trial leading into a Group 1. He went on to win. She was in that same trial, never hooked out, found the line beautifully. That'll do me.
Okay, sounds good to me, Craig. Really enjoyed your coverage on Tuesday and looking forward to tuning into trackside and getting all the good oil as well. Thanks for giving us a preview here today.
Yeah, to the viewers out there, have a wonderful Cup week, what's left of it, and I hope you can find a winner on Friday.
Yeah, really looking forward to Addington today on show day as well, leading us into the final day of New Zealand Cup week at Riccarton tomorrow. Let's recap today's best bets. Good luck if you're following in the best bets from our key participants today. Thanks to Craig Thompson, Royden Ferguson, Stephen Marsh, and best of luck to all of those who are teams in today. Don't forget about the form tomorrow as well. Emily Bossum will be back to lead us into the final day of New Zealand Cup Week. Of course, it is Group 1, Barneswood Farm, 1,000 guineas, and Martin Collins New Zealand Cup Day as well. We'll see you then.